Okay, this is a video for the Odyssey iSINE 20. These came out about a year ago, and they are sold at um, Apple stores, I guess. I live in Japan, so I don't know, and I don't go to Apple stores, but I believe that this is something that was promoted and sold as something that is to be, used with your iPhone, and it comes with a cable that's called a cipher cable. I think it should be called decipher because it's decoding an audio signal and then putting it out in a way that they think is more consumer friendly. I've never used this cable because I don't use iDevices. Hence the reason this video took so long to come about, because I'm Android based. FIO Mark X7 Mark II Android base, Hibi R6 Android base, Acoustic Research ARM2 Android base, Opus 2 Android base. Everything that I'm using is Android base. So their cipher cable doesn't work. This is, I'm going to do shockingly fast. I'm a minute and 12 seconds in. This is a power user set advertised otherwise. So if you have an iDevice and you listen to this and you're happy and you have your cipher cable or your new cipher cable and all the software and stuff that comes with it, cool, that's awesome for you. I'm here to tell the power users that this is actually a power user set. This is, you want to amp your stuff. You've got a really boss ARM2, and then you've got a Vorzug or whatever the hell these are called. This is from Talon. A very powerful, potent amp. These love this, which is weird because we usually things that are said to be designed for iDevices have lower power input max. They are designed to work with lower, the voltage coming out of the headphone out is lower with your portable devices. So they design them to be more efficient with lower power. So that would seem to be what this would do too. So I thought putting power on this too much would really not be a great idea. And it turned out to be absolutely a fantastic idea. I'm not going to get, I got the stuff and I've got I can do like this is what this is, and I'm not going to do that because other people have already done those videos. I'm a power user, always have been. Power is dynamics, dynamics is power. This set, and I'll give you context because I ranted about that not so long ago. This is a DSD of Wish You Were Here by Pink Floyd, the album Wish You Were Here, and this is a track called... no, that is not the one that I want, actually. Welcome to the Machine. Now, if you're not familiar with this track, there is a bass to sub-bass centered event that comes in from left to right completely in the left, completely in the right, and it repeats itself for about 5.5 of the 7-point-something minute track. And if it is average drivers, it will sound pretty much like a bass hit that's panning very hard to left and right. If it is high quality, like EX1000s, the detail of the hit is better, and the harmonic extension is more clear, and it becomes more of the focus of your brain because it's so powerful, and it's like a swish of air and bass, shaboom, shum, shum. Now that sounds fine, but when it happens for 5 minutes and it's a rhythmic left and right, it's like you're in a boat that's rocking. It becomes almost nauseating. Why am I getting on that? Because the bass replay on these is so clear and so good that I understand why. I think chillaxing and also BB808 or 808 BB. I'm sorry, bro, if I'm messing up your handle. Anyway, he's from Hawaii, but he's living in California now, and I think he's got these, and I think Chillaxing has these too. And they were really into it, and I thought, okay, I don't get it. I get it now. I'm not talking about Tupac and all that. That stuff sounds great. This is a rock track with very heavy panning to left and right. If it's with regular quality drivers, it's just a sonic event with panning. If it's a high quality driver, the detail of the fundamental harmonic is much more clear, and you can hear it. And it becomes a focus of your brain because it's the dominant part of the song, and it goes on for over 5 minutes, and it becomes overwhelming mentally. Especially if you listen a couple times, because that's what I do, because I have OCD and I want to hear stuff. And I did this last night and was like, holy crap. The bass quality of these was absolutely fantastic. And these are power devices. If you have an iDevice and you are happy with what you're getting, then that's absolutely fine. If you have a device that is not, I'm actually using this, and I've lowered my floor so that I don't have the harmonics that come from the area over here. This is something that's totally up to you. And the mistake that I made is that I was looking for guidance online for how to EQ this, when I've never done that with anything else, but I thought, this thing comes with a special cable. I better kind of, give these a fair shake and get on. And I don't know how close this is really to, because I don't follow the thread really, participate in it. People got opinions that we parrot stuff and we have bias, and we start to think, oh, that's the good part and that's the bad part. I walked away from these for over a month to 2 months, and then came back to them because I was doing a review in the process for the AUDEZE, and then decided I'll put these on it. So I wasn't listening to anything in particular, besides what I usually do, like Fleetwood Mac, Pink Floyd, Tupac. But with power, these suddenly sounded like they were opening up a lot. Everything sounded better, just better. The replay, like, these were not getting enough power with the way that they're sold. Like, they're sold in the way that doesn't let them shine their best, which is puzzling. But they've got a new flagship that's like $2,000, so maybe this was their first foray in, and the market is selling to people with iDevices, and so that's what they did. The shame in that is that a lot of people who don't have iDevices might have not really given these a shot, or they did and they didn't like the first impression, which was the same as me. However, plugging these in and feeding them power, good clean power, changes everything, and convinces me that these are actually designed for the power user, and they know that, but the market for power users is not that big, but people with iPhones is huge. So which one are you going to aim for if you're trying to make a profit? You're going to aim for the people that got iPhones, like right here. And business-wise, good move. For power users, like we know I'm a bass head, but that's Pink Floyd. That's not a bass head group. That's a nostalgia growing up. I love that. I love Pink Floyd. I listen to all music, but I like a good stout bass if that's what's mixed in. This will play that. You can hit a bass switch and get outstanding replay. One of the finer. The benefits of these drivers are they have a very, very, very low harmonic distortion related to dynamic drivers. What that means is when you increase the volume up more, everything comes with it. So if there's distortion existing in mostly in the bass region, and sometimes an odd spike somewhere along the line, and you volume up, you put the gain, you lift the whole thing up. So the amount of distortion that exists here is coming up with it. So you're turning the volume up and you're turning the distortion up. These drivers have a low distortion percentage in the bass compared to dynamic drivers. It sounds like it to me anyway. I haven't looked at specs. It sounds clear to me, actually. And when that lower amount of harmonic distortion that is in the lower frequencies is powered up, you have a lower distortion that becomes audible. You're actually not getting it. So when I'm listening to this heavy left-right pan, I'm getting really exactly close to what they were mixing at the studio, as opposed to what I'm kind of pretty much used to. Only the EX1000s played this to a point where I'd start to feel nauseous. Loved it because that was just proof of how clear it was. And no, most other stuff doesn't do that. This does that more than that because this is a bigger driver, and it's vibrating and kind of thumping on my inner and just on the outer ear too. So this is the AUDEZE iSINE 20, and this is a power user's IEM. If you like to use amps, you like power, you like bass switches, you don't have to have a bass switch, but that would be ideal. This would be absolutely fantastic rec. And pay no mind to the fact that it's advertised to the absolute opposite group from you and I, which is I got a phone, I want to listen to music on my phone, but I want it to be high quality group, because that's not what I am, and you are not either, likely, if you're still watching this video 10 minutes in. This is designed, though not advertised, for power users. The larger version of these, the AUDEZE, over ears with their giant drivers, love powers. You can tap, home receivers directly using those and get insane quality and power. You can give more power to these types of drivers than you can to dynamics that are designed for headphones, because if they've got copper voice coil motor structures, you can actually overheat them with a lot of power. These kind of drivers have a different way of producing sound, so putting a lot of power into them doesn't have the same potential damaging effects, not in the same way as dynamic drivers. So to take a wild ramble, and without showing you the stuff that comes with it, I did an unboxing already. If you're a power user and you like to increase the power, not because of volume, so for example, I showed you guys my EQ, I'll show it to you again. I almost always naturally drop. Now when you activate an EQ, it typically will drop by 6 dB everything anyway. Now I drop that even further so that I give myself more room for the gain. So I'm lowering my volume, and then I'm going to turn it up by gain. And these peaks are actually at decibels that are lower, but the dynamics sound clearer. And that doesn't make sense to you, then welcome to most people's thinking. They don't get it. Cut EQing is really the best way to deal with these. I would recommend you almost floor this and then start to raise it up, and never start right in the middle. Even they cut that for a reason. You cut it more because you want to use more power than they're estimating you're going to use. They think they need to lower it because they're protecting your hearing and also the quality of the sound. I'm lowering even more because I want more quality in the sound. I want more headroom to elevate frequencies that need to be elevated. So this EQ looks like this. If this was the highest point in the bass and the highest point in the treble are almost identical, and I always almost do the same thing. These are not as complicated to take care of as I thought. They simply need good power. So these are advertised as being used for iDevices, and they're fine. Seems like it's a lot of people have tons of issues, and other people are super happy. I don't see, in the few times that I've looked at the thread, anybody talking about the power ability of these, the ability to take a lot of power and to shine under load. And so I decided to do the review. It's not even a review, it's a video. These are power user IEMs. If you like your music and you like power and you like to put those two things together because you believe that power is dynamics is power, and that the quality of what you're listening to is better with better power behind it, this would be something that I would advise you to take a very, 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 very strong look at. I don't know that something that is similar to this would be worth $2,000, which is the flagship price, or something like that. But these are, around $600, I think now. I think that would be well worth you taking a look at, because they fit great. People talk about fit. You basically put these on your head like this, because it gets on your ear, and then you rotate the whole thing around while it's in your ear, and this kind of screws in. These are called groovy tips. The fit on these is fantastic. I have no issues with these for long-term listening. What would be the weak point of these? Um, the Cable Is Ghetto. I was going to leave that alone, but this is a ghetto cable. I don't like it at all. I wish I had a balanced cable. This just doesn't. They're putting a lot of their time and their money and stuff in this like little amp DSP thing that they've got with really no thought to you and me if you're a Droid or not an iDevice user. So this is a very ghetto cable. That would be a minus. I wish I had a really nice cable for this because I'd love to listen to these a lot, and I like to look at them. And this cable's really not good at all, but it does the job. These are absolutely fantastic. I highly recommend them. I apologize for the long time it took to do this. Anything else other than what I'm doing now and doing it the way I'm doing it would have been not authentic. This came about today because I was listening to the AU and B1S. I decided to listen to these again. Thought, that's impressive. I have something that's got more than this, and it's got a bass switch, and that is this one over here. I'll try that out. I did it last night and was absolutely blown away and thought, okay. And I listened to the Unique Melody ME1s again and compared them and thought, I think I rushed to judgment because I think I should have gone with power because I know that planar in its larger form loves power. So maybe these love power too, but everything's pointing away from that. The way that they're advertising it, the discussions in the thread, all of the users and their cipher cables and their correction software, and everything is really directing away from me and maybe you. And now I'm telling you, don't worry about it, man. Not that much EQ. This, you're thinking, why are you scooping? There's a the planars have a event that usually occurs around 1.5 hertz to 4.5. Between those two regions, there's an event, a preemptive bump to compensate for what would be a drop, and it happens to this. It happens to the ME1s. It happens to the bigger versions that go over people's ears. It's a driver symptom. It's not that hard to deal with actually, and I dealt with it pretty easily. And I just did the EQ that I just showed you. These are for the power user, and I'm a power user, and I finally connected the dots with this set. And the video that I did comparing these really briefly and not well. With the ME1s was a poor choice. I'll leave it up because it's proof of doing stuff too quickly and the benefits of holding on to stuff longer. Now that I've had more time to listen to these, I would rec these over that. So if you bought the ME1s based on what I said, be happy because they're fantastic. My claim that I thought that one was better than the other is absolutely taste, and I changed my opinion now because these are absolutely fantastic, and under power they excel better than the other ones, in my opinion. So if you're a power user, I rec these a lot. Forget what the logo says on the box. Forget all of the talk and the cables and the corrective software. It's not that big a deal to EQ these, and they love power, and the level of distortion, which is so low, is an amazing thing to experience when it's amplified and you have things coming at you that you've not heard before, but because they were covered by distortion, the transitions, the gaps and the movements between notes that you didn't notice before, you'll notice now because it's like plexiglass has been replaced by real glass, and you're seeing things clearly now with these. So I rec these. These are absolutely fantastic, and I'm gonna ignore them if they say, hey, send them back for a little while until they send like a second or third mail, and then I'll send them back. But I'm so pleased with these right now, and I would like to use them in several videos that I have coming up. So please let me hold them longer. Please. That's my shameless appeal right there, because these are awesome. If they had sent me a mail a week ago and said, are you done with that? Can we get them back? I think I would have said, they're in the box and I'll send them to you. And now that I've listened to them with amps and done a very simple EQ, I'm thinking, I hope they don't. I don't want to hear from them. I hope they forget about me. Now I did a video and they're going to think, okay, he's done. Hey, I'm going to do another video and I'm going to just, you trust me, you'll be happy, and it'll be coming soon. So thank you very much. And please look forward to the next video. I wreck these a lot. These are for power users. Nobody's really been talking about that. Maybe chillaxing. I don't follow the forums that much anymore. These are, in fact, probably the best thing that you can get if you like bass and you like very, very clear music and you like to use power. This would be the set to get. Love it. Absolutely fantastic. And kind of proof of take your time when you're evaluating stuff. What music do I listen to? As always, it's the same stuff. Fleetwood Mac, Pink Floyd, America, Too Short, the same stuff that I always listen to. AC/DC a lot recently. Fleetwood Mac, all the stuff you guys see on my album art. I listen to. I don't move around musically. I 70s rock, 80s, 90s hip hop. And Hawaiian reggae. Bob Marley and stuff like that. That's always what I listen to. You look at my videos, look at the album art I scroll through. Same stuff all the time. If you listen to that kind of music, I absolutely recommend these. If you listen to other music, don't think it would make that much of a difference. The correction EQ for this is something that just makes them sound excellent, and I don't think that it really matters whether you're listening to Tchaikovsky or Too Short. These are absolutely exceptional. Highly wrecked. Love them a lot. Thumbs up. Thumbs up to the company for not ever saying anything to me, never contacting me and saying, hey, or nothing. Absolutely professional. And I guess it's the way it's supposed to be, because if you listen to something like this and you got a week with them, I don't think a lot of people are going to quite get it or appreciate it. You give somebody more time, and if they're smart, they'll get to it. And if they're not, they might have never anyway. I did. I finally arrived, and I appreciate the time it took, because it took a while. I like these a lot, and I'm listening to them constantly right now. I love them. They're absolutely fantastic. And that's me done gushing. 22 minutes, 10 seconds, and I'm out.